supermarket before leaving, but I ended up not picking up that many things. But here I'm showing you the aesthetically pleasing aisles at Whole Foods, which I love, and it reminded me so much of my au pair year. All the brands and, like, for example, the protein bars. The Oatly is huge. I don't know if you can tell, but it was a very, very big bottle. And they also had these creamers, caramel and mocha, which I've never seen in Europe. I wish we had this here. And then there were lots of things that I really wanted to pick up but was not able to do so because of luggage, of course, and some of the frozen things I used to eat when I was living here. And then I picked up a ginger shot. Good morning, everyone. As you can hear, my voice is gone, and it's been like this the past 3 days. Yesterday, when it was 18 degrees and we were at the Upper East Side, it was still okay, but now it's back to being like this. But I feel completely fine. It's just my voice that I lost. And yeah, unfortunately, there aren't so many clips where I was able to talk. So I thought I would probably add a lot of different voiceovers. Yeah, this is very unfortunate, but it's okay. I did film a lot, I think, at this time in the vlog. You might have seen already the majority of it because this is my last morning and I'm getting ready and I will go to the Apple store to get an iPhone for my mom, and I will head out maybe to get some bagels. And I just bought this ginger shot at Whole Foods and maybe this will help, but yeah, let's see. Anyways, last day in New York. I'm so sad to leave, and I'll definitely do an outro when I'm back in Paris and when my voice is back to normal as well. Very spicy. To stop by Popup Bagels because I needed to pick up some bagels to bring back to Paris, because I completely fell back in love with eating bagels when I was in New York. So I picked up 1 plain, 2 sesame bagels, and I think 1 everything bagel. Had to pick up a coffee, and I decided to go to Fellini Coffee, which was amazing. I had the Dolce Vita latte, which the barista recommended to me. I was hesitant between this and Liria matcha. I think both would have been amazing, but I had to choose, so this was very on point, 10 out of 10. best bagel in New York. I tried Ess-a-Bagel, and as usual, I ordered a salmon bagel, this time with a couple more ingredients like capers, salad, and onions. But to be honest, I preferred very simple, just with cucumber and tomato. But it was still really good, and this was the last meal I had before going to the airport. Time to say
have a good one.
And we're back in Paris. I'm sitting on my couch and I wanted to sit down and have a little chit chat and answer some of the questions that I received. And thank you so much for all the views and the comments and the likes on the 4 last videos about New York. It truly was such a beautiful trip. I am still reminiscing about this and I can't believe that this happened, because it was also just 5 days, so it's not a lot. If you only have a limited amount of time, you really want to put a lot of things into your itinerary. So we did lots of things, as you saw, and I had even more things on my list, and this is one thing I wanted to share in this video as well. So I will show you now what I put on my hotspot / to-do bucket list for New York. Let's start with stores. So I did go to Toteme and Aritzia. Those were 2 shops I really wanted to go to. I already knew Aritzia from the past, and they always have very petite sizes. And since I'm very petite, I really wanted to go there, and I was looking for one specific pant, but they didn't have them in stock. So that was really sad. And then there were 4 more stores that I wanted to see, which were Kith, The Row, Kate, and the Sporty and Rich store, which unfortunately I didn't see. I think those would be really nice to see as well. Unfortunately, I completely forgot about The Row when I was at the Upper East Side. But I guess I was just in the moment, you know, living my life with my bestie. Moving on to cafes and sweets. So I did go to Fellini Coffee in this vlog. I went to Levain Cookies, and I also went to La Cabra Coffee. All of them were amazing. I also did go to Felix Roasting, I think it's called. That place was also very cute. So just a little disclaimer, I don't have any negative things to say about any of the places I went to, so just to note right here. And then other cafes I would highly recommend, which I didn't go to, were Léon Doré, Liria Matcha, which I'm very sad about, and Café Napoli, which had cannolis. I saw this, I think, on TikTok. Definitely Liria Matcha would have been my next favorite to go to check out. Then moving on to iconic New York City places. So New York style pizza, bagel shops, taco places. Definitely Joe's Pizza. As I said, they only accepted cash. We didn't have cash on hand in that moment, so we just skipped it, which I'm kind of sad about. But apparently the Carmine and Bleecker Street ones are the best. And then there's also Scar's Pizza, Prince Street Pizza, and Lucali's Pizza. And I think Lucali's is in Brooklyn, and unfortunately I didn't have enough time to explore Brooklyn more, but that's definitely one I wanted to see, and that was also recommended by Tory Burch herself. For bagels, I did not go to Leon's Bagels, but I passed it because in today's vlog I was at Popup Bagels, and it's right next to it. So Popup Bagels only has bagels without anything on them, and then they also have cream cheese, so you can have different types of bagels and different types of cream cheese, but not a bagel that is already done with whatever ingredients you want. But right next to it was Leon's Bagels, and again, I regret not going there, because if you're in a new city and you love food, you want to try everything, but then you also kind of feel bad if you are like really eating so much, like everything you do is just eating. But I wish I would have tried this, because I've seen it on TikTok afterwards again, and I really want to try like an egg and bacon bagel, which I haven't had before. But yeah, for sure, Leon's Bagels would have been my next favorite to go to. And then on the bottom, as you can see, the places I went to: Ess-a-Bagel, Popup Bagels, and then burgers was the 7th Street Burger, which was amazing. For the iconic New York City food, I think Los Tacos and Tompkins Square were my two top favorites. Okay, moving on to lunch and dinner. I have a very long list of restaurants. So for sure, what I heard for Italian places are Emilio Spalato and Bar Pitti, which are both, I think, in SoHo, supposed to be amazing. I think Bar Pitti, it's really nice if you want to be like outside in summer. And obviously it was very cold when I was there. And since there are so many places in this specific lunch dinner list, I want to just point out some of them and not go through all of them. But for Italian places, I also had Sant Ambrose, which is supposed to be great for anything: brunch, lunch, dinner. Casa Cipriani, a classic. You do need to be a member there though, I think. And then Carbone and Misi are also two very famous places. Misi, I really wanted to go to Misi because this one is also, I think, in Williamsburg. They have this really nice bread with this creamy spread on it. And the pasta also, oh my god, I think the ravioli was amazing. I will put in a screenshot right here. This was definitely a place I really wanted to go to, but it was fully booked for every single day. I tried to put myself on the list, but it did not work out with our schedule. And then moving on to like sushi, Catch, Sugarfish, and Bond Street. And then there are some classics that are also partly on the Upper East Side, like Odeon, which is French, Setemezzo, Bella Blue, the Polo Bar, Rafts. Those are also places I've seen multiple times on Instagram and on TikTok. To be honest, for brunch, I did not have that many on my list. I just needed two really nice places because we only had like 2 mornings where we could really organize that. And I already knew that I wanted to go to La Mercerie. So that was the one that I really wanted to go to, and then Sadell's. So I did not research any further, but as I said, Sant Ambrose apparently is also a nice brunch place. And then moving on to evening/nightlife. So the bars, the favorites I had, or where I tried to get a reservation, is Nobeloos, which is a rooftop, which apparently has a very beautiful view. Unfortunately also booked out. Then Monkey Bar is, I think, a New York classic as well, which was also completely booked. But we only went to the Nines, which I can highly recommend. If you like jazz bars and like very unique places, the interior was just so beautiful. It kind of reminded me of Hotel Coste in Paris, which has very similar like red velvet chairs and just this like dark sexy vibe, really nice. And the cocktails again were amazing. And then for clubs, I know that the most famous ones, at least what I saw, and for the music that I like, were Socialista, Out of Heaven, The Box, and Little Sister. And that was it for my New York hotspot list. I hope you liked it, and I hope I was able to give you some nice recommendations. And then I just want to give you a couple of tips, which one of them is you can take the train easily from JFK to the city. I've mentioned that in my first vlog, so make sure to watch that. It's easier than you think. You just have to take the air train and then you take the Long Island Railroad Express. And it just directly commutes you to Grand Central or to Penn Station, for example, which is basically in the middle of Manhattan, so where most tourists also tend to have their hotels. And if not, if you have your hotel somewhere else, it's still very easy from Central Station to go anywhere else in New York. For the subway, you don't necessarily need a ticket. So I just always paid with Apple Pay, which is very convenient in my opinion. And then one more thing, for restaurant reservations, I downloaded the app Resi, which apparently is the app that the majority of people use or the majority of restaurants work with. So you can just very easily look for different reservation options, and then you can just book a table, or you can put yourself on the waiting list and then you will get a notification. So that's it for my New York diaries. I really hope you liked these types of vlogs. I love traveling, and I will for sure travel a lot more in 2024, and I will also vlog these upcoming trips, which I'm very excited about. For now, I will stay in Paris and work on my dissertation and finish my master. And after that, I'm just excited what the future holds, because right now there's a lot of uncertainty in my life, but I'm very, very grateful and happy and just looking forward to the next couple of months of 2024. And I see you in my next video, which will be in Paris, of course, because I'm back. So make sure to subscribe, leave a comment and like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one.